90 kilometers per hour. That's the speed I was riding at on the Duotts C29 electric bike, but don't worry. Following your advice, I tried to modify the controller settings and ended up messing with a few parameters. This caused the speedometer to suddenly show cosmic speeds, which had nothing to do with reality. I fixed it now, but in today's video, I wanted to answer a series of your questions and focus mainly on the downsides of the Duotts C29. Over the past few days, I've ridden this bike for over 160 kilometers and took the Duotts C29 to a friend who runs a bike service shop. I wanted to make sure I assembled it correctly from the box, as you saw in the first video. I ride quite fast, and it would be a shame if the bike fell apart at such speeds, especially with me on it. At the service, Adam said he wouldn't want this bike even for free. In his opinion, it's even dangerous. It has significant acceleration, and even when you stop pedaling, the motor continues to push forward for a bit. The mechanical disc brakes are a joke for this bike's power and weight. He immediately recommended I switch to hydraulic brakes, which is often advised online when purchasing this bike. It turned out that, without any experience, I assembled the bike quite well, but the front disc was bent. This often happens with new bikes, not just those from China. During adjustment, it became clear that the motor in the wheel partially obstructs the rear brake adjustment screw, so it's best to remove the wheel for proper adjustment. Minor adjustments are done after reattaching the wheel. Adam noted that the gears on this bike seem to be taken from a child's bike from the early 2000s. Even with extensive adjustments, you won't get a wow effect. They would need to be replaced to ride comfortably without any assistance. I also encountered another odd design. On the left side, the controller with the speedometer is at a steep angle, and you can't lift it because the gear shifter gets in the way. It can't be moved aside because the mounting is too short. On the same side, the module with the horn and lights is quite low. I wanted it at hand level so I could easily reach it, but again, the gear shifter interferes. You can't shift to the lowest gear because the module gets in the way. It's a very strange solution, but there's no room for any adjustments. Additionally, the fenders are too soft and can hit the tires when driving on pits. I will most likely remove the fenders after the final review. I also tried to modify the controller a bit and set limits to divide the available speeds among different gears, following your suggestions in the comments. It didn't really work. On gear 1, the bike still accelerates to 20 kilometers per hour. You can only adjust the force with which it pushes forward. There's a delay in the assistance kicking in and the force with which it assists while pedaling. However, it's still a rocket. The idea was to set a maximum speed of 25, not 55, which the bike's controller would divide among the gears. This way, on the first gear, I would have assistance up to 5 to 6 kilometers per hour, a walking speed. I'll try to tweak the controller a bit more because, as I mentioned at the start, I set it up without knowing. The manual didn't mention 20 of the parameters, and you have to figure them out online. But I must admit that the price-to-value ratio is very good, practically at least half the price of a normal e-bike. If anyone wants to buy this bike, there's a link in the description to the Duotts store, along with the discount code JOTEM that will get you $50 off, just enough to buy hydraulic brakes. See you in the next video from the road. See you.